and welcome to the FPL Gameweek 15 deal sheet with my top transfers in each position ahead of another round of FPL action. If you're new around here, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off with forwards then, and on the sell list is Brentford's Ivan Toney, who is suspended for game week 15 after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season against Wolves. He's failed to deliver an attacking return in his last 3 games, and his final fixture of the season is against Manchester City away. It doesn't come any tougher like that, so he's an easy sell. He's actually the most sold player in FPL this week ahead of game week 15, and rightly so. In terms of who to replace him with, well, the top transferred in player this week is Newcastle United's Callum Wilson. Easy to see why. Southampton away next, followed by Chelsea at home. Remember, Chelsea have just conceded 4 goals at Brighton, and he's been in fantastic form since the international break. Over the last 6 game weeks, he's netted 4 goals and 3 assists, which is great level of returns. We've also seen Newcastle really improve their goal scoring form in this time. On 3 of the last 6 occasions, they've managed to score at least 4 goals in a game, which gives us a really high ceiling for Wilson, who also happens to be on penalties and is working towards getting in England's World Cup squad. Remember, we've only got 2 weeks to go in FPL till the World Cup break. On the monitor list is Erling Haaland. Again, we don't know firm news on his availability for Fulham. However, the advice remains the same. If there is any chance that he is in the Manchester City squad over either of the remaining game weeks against Fulham or Brentford, you want him in your team. You also want to be captaining him. So to remain flexible, we just need to monitor the situation. I will, of course, deliver final updates from Pep Guardiola's press conference in my Friday press conference stream, which comes at 1 o'clock UK time. Remember to hit that notify button for that reminder whenever I go live. Link is in the description for that one. Moving into midfield then, and on the buy list is Brighton's Leandro Trossard, who has scored 5 goals in his last 6 appearances for Brighton. We're also seeing him over that time being top for shots in the box among midfielders with 19. All of the stats in this video are powered by Fantasy Football Hub, and you can save 30% off your membership to get access to the full suite of Opta tools by clicking the link in the description below. And it's a nice pair of fixtures for Brighton before the World Cup break, with Wolves followed by Aston Villa. I feel like there's a good chance for Trossard to get on the score sheet in those games. He's seriously impressed me over the last couple of game weeks. In terms of transfers out on my sell list, I've got Crystal Palace's Wilf Zaha. He's been a frustrating asset to own in recent weeks, and if you're in a lucky position where maybe you've got 2 free transfers this week and you haven't got fires to fight elsewhere in terms of suspensions, I think the luxury move could be Zaha out for Trossard. The fixtures are okay for Crystal Palace, West Ham and Nottingham Forest, but both of those fixtures come away from home, and we have to note that since the international break, Crystal Palace have not managed to score a single goal on the road, which does make for major concerns. And in terms of Wilf Zaha's returns this season, 5 goals, 4 of those have come at home. So the stars are not quite aligning for Eagles assets at the moment, which is why I think a move out for Zaha could work. He's in just over 20% of squads at the moment, but patience is wearing thin. Looking at the monitor list, and this is a big story this week, is the availability of Arsenal's Bukayo Saka. Obviously, this week against Chelsea away, it's probably not the greatest fixture for Arsenal, even though Chelsea did look porous against Brighton. But Wolves away in game week 16 does look like a really attractive fixture for Arsenal, given their current goal-scoring form. So, similar to Haaland, if there's any chance that he's going to be available for game week 16, you kind of want to stick by him. I think the prognosis is that he should be available. It was remarked that he took a knock. That's the sort of thing that players do recover from quite quickly. We should get firm news from Arteta before the deadline though, so another one to keep an eye on. But on current form, you have to stick by Saka. 3 goals and 1 assist since the international break, and right now he's looking like the best Arsenal asset to be on. Heavily involved in corners, he's also on penalties as well, so we want to keep hold of him if we can. Moving into defence now, and if you'd have told me at the international break that I'd be recommending a Leicester defender at any point this season, I wouldn't have believed you, but Leicester have kept 4 clean sheets in their last 6 games. Since then, Castaña's actually managed to net 5 clean sheets with a lucky substitution. He's also picked up 1 goal and 2 assists this season. And when we've got just 2 game weeks to go until unlimited transfers, it gives us an opportunity to play the fixtures. And I really like the look of Leicester's fixture over the next 2, Everton away and West Ham away, 2 sides that have been struggling for goals so far this season. And we see him taking up those advanced positions. He's more than capable of being among the attacking returns. He's also picked up 6 bonus points since the international break as well. Now, when it comes to the sales list, it was difficult to pick out, but you know, there's a lot of managers keeping faith with Spurs defenders at the moment. Perisic still in 23% of squads, Dyer in just over 10% of squads. Now is the time to sell. Spurs assets have looked less than impressive in recent games. They've conceded 6 goals in their last 3. Dyer somehow wasn't in the starting lineup, played just 33 minutes against Bournemouth, a fixture in which they struggled. It's Liverpool up next. Again, for defensive assets, it's not a fixture you want to be playing them in. So I think now is a perfect time to move off those Spurs defenders and punt on players that have got better fixtures ahead. And on the monitor list, I've also got Newcastle United's Fabian Schär, currently sidelined with hamstring injury. He is expected to go to the World Cup with Switzerland, so it could be that he's protected with that in mind, but we really want to be invested in Newcastle United right now. 4 clean sheets in 6. He's certainly a player that's ticking over, but if he is ruled out, it could open up an opportunity to change the triple up that you've got on Newcastle United players. I feel like right now, Trippier, Almiron and Wilson is the optimal way to go. So if Schär is ruled out for the final 2 fixtures of the season, you can make that move. Southampton away, good fixture this week. Chelsea at home could be a tougher test for those Newcastle United defenders. Finally, we look between the sticks and Nick Pope is again on the radar. The difficulty is that maybe he isn't in the optimal Newcastle United triple up right now, but 3 clean sheets in 4. He is the top scoring goalkeeper in the game. He is certainly one to consider, and he does have a higher base point potential than the likes of the Newcastle defenders beyond Trippier because of his ability to accumulate save points and bonus points as well. And I think Southampton away is a really great fixture for him in game week 15. So if you are on Chelsea's Kepa at the moment, who's currently sidelined with a hamstring injury, it could be worth making the switch to Nick Pope this week. Kepa was looking like a really great fantasy pick, so it is a shame that he's picked up the injury. It's a little bit of murky waters because he did concede 3 goals in quick succession against Brighton before being substituted at half-time with a foot injury. So we don't know the exact ins and outs for Kepa right now as a fantasy asset, but with Mendy playing the second half against Brighton and albeit putting in a better performance than Kepa, I can't see Kepa being Chelsea's number 1 again after the World Cup break, so now is the time to get off him. Another player flagged with injury is Aston Villa's Emiliano Martinez, who sustained a head injury in the game against Newcastle. We expect that following concussion protocols, there's a chance that he could miss out in game week 15, which puts him back in for game week 16. So if we get confirmed news out of Aston Villa that he is set to miss out in game week 15, then again a move to Nick Pope could make sense for the final couple of game weeks before the World Cup break. That's it from me then for the FPL Game Week 15 deal sheet video. Remember, I respond to all comments within a day of the video going live, so get them in and I'll do my best to help you with them. Remember to like this video. Let's get to 300 likes on this video. Hit that subscribe and notify button as well, which will remind you of my press conference stream, which is taking place on Friday at 1 p.m. Do not miss it. Good luck for FPL Game Week 15.